Hey guys, welcome back to another Near Protocol update video. In this video, we are going to be talking about Tornado Cash, and I'm very happy that Near did step up and give a quick little announcement about what they are doing because of the regulation going on around this. And this came out of the blue, kind of, sort of. It was earlier this week, but here is Near Foundation's response to Tornado Cash. Ownership and regulation. So Near as an ecosystem identifies ownership. So the ability for all people to control their data, assets, and power governments is most important shared goal. In light of the recent regulatory developments concerning the cryptocurrency mixing service Tornado Cash and ensuing an ensuing banning of several services, it's important to reiterate the Foundation's view on privacy, ownership, and regulation. And if you're unfamiliar, like I said earlier, this week and last week, the U.S. Treasury sanctions of privacy tools place sweeping restrictions on all Americans. So if you use Tornado Cash, if you had a wallet that was actively using that, it's pretty much banned, which is kind of wild to think about. So these are fundamental values of the Near and Web3 movement more broadly. The ecosystem's response is a watershed movement that'll have a lasting effect. So ownership and privacy. The Near Foundation believes in privacy. It's an essential to autonomy and protection of human dignity. So privacy enables citizens to protect themselves. Everyone has a right to it because it's a critical aspect of ownership and autonomy, and Web3 never delivers on its potential if systems that allow participants to launder money, fund terrorism, or commit crimes are allowed to propagate. And blockchains are not starting entirely new systems from zero in a vacuum. So the work to be done. The Foundation acknowledges there is work to be done to educate regulators about the nuance of these tools, but the goal is to build trust, not erode it. And some of this will be about compromise until privacy infrastructure is more mature. Know your customer, or KYC, at the edge of systems is required. But inside the system, participants should have the freedom to move around it as they see fit. So yes, what they're saying, if you want to purchase something on Coinbase, of course, Coinbase, you need KYC in order to purchase all those assets. But as soon as you purchase that Bitcoin or that Ethereum or what have you, that is up to you to use how you see fit, is kind of what they're saying there. So improving and investing in zero knowledge protocols is also crucial, and these allow parties to make transactions to verify identities and validate sufficient data to establish trust, but keeping everything else private. One way to kind of look at zero knowledge proofs is like in your cell phone, if you have Apple ID or a fingerprint reader. That is one way to verify that you are the individual who wants to access that application without having to, let's say, show your identification or something very similar to that. It's a zero knowledge proof that you can prove it without having to go through extreme lengths to prove something. So combining these two will be especially powerful so that KYC doesn't need a complete access to one's information at the entire expense of privacy. And then they go on to talk about collaboration in the community. While the Treasury's decision to block and ban Tornado Cash is an overstep that may well create more problems than it solves, and some of those problems out of the scope of this video, but yes, it has created a lot of problems. And the link that they give is the Hydra effect. Like, they cut off one head, but that's just going to sprout out 3 other heads to circumvent those bans that were put into place. So the next steps, and I think this is the most important part to wrap up the video, to continue the Near Foundation's commitment to preserving privacy while respecting the rule of law, it will take necessary steps to join the Coin Center, the leading nonprofit focused on policy issuing facing cryptocurrencies. And then second, the Near Foundation will actively seek to establish an association to help ensure that validators have better protections when it comes to censorship resistance. And then lastly, the Near Foundation is creating a grant fund for projects specializing in building zero knowledge solutions to help preserve privacy while allowing projects and communities to comply with law enforcement. So yes, I do think, and I agree with the Near protocol, zero knowledge proofs are the way to both preserve privacy and also prove that there is someone on the other end. So if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. This video, we briefly talked about the Near Foundation's response to what's happening with Tornado Cash.